Okay, so this last chapter should be freshly in your mind. I'm only going to go over um, just like one problem. You can do the other three. They're the exact same thing. Like nothing's really actually. I'm sorry. Do one of these. I'll do the diagonally, like this and this. So there actually is a small difference, but it's not actually much of a difference. All right. So this one up here. All you need to do is make an XY chart. You start with -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. The reason why we do this is because this thing is already centered. So we're going to use 0 as our center, -1, -2 above it, 1, 2 below it. So these are pretty easy in the sense that all you're actually doing is putting these in your calculator. What this first one's telling you is to take 8 times 1/2 to the power of -2. That's what this little x means right here, is to change whatever x is here with the number up here. So we're taking 8 to the power of 1/2 to the -2nd power. So technically, this is going to give us 4. 4 times 8 is 32. I do the same thing on this one. What it's going to do is going to give me 16, then 8, then 4, then 2. So all you have to do is take the x, whatever the x is, plug it in for the exponent, and just put it in your calculator with the parentheses and everything. Now, down here becomes a little bit more difficult. The reason is I want you guys to be able to center this thing. Now, what this -3 means is that it's going to the right 3 units. So, what it's actually doing is we're adding 3 to these numbers up here. Okay, so since I'm doing opposite, which is -3, I'm going to add 3 instead. I'm going to start with -2 plus 3. So -2 plus 3 gives me 1. And since these go in order, -2, -1, so on and so forth, I can tell you right now, these will too. We end up with something like that. From there, you just plug these in your calculator. 3 to the power of 1 minus 3 gives you 1/9. Then 1/3, then 1, then 3, then 9. So on and so forth. You would just need to graph these on the graph, like so, just 1, 1/9. It's kind of hard, but you're going to graph them. Here, I'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's going to look something like this. Alright, I'm not best at this, but we'll go with that. Alright, technically, this line is called the asymptote, but we didn't go over it enough, so I'm not going to expect you guys to know it. I just want you to be able to graph these properly. Then we have these. Okay, so these are trying to find the x of these. So I'm going to do one from each row. Actually, I'm only going to do 2 of them. I'm going to do one that is not. Actually, let's do. Yeah, we're going to do this one. We'll do this one. This one I'm going to explain in 2 different ways, and then I'm going to explain this one. Alright, so the most basic way is to do your tree diagrams to break these down into prime numbers. The only problem with this is that when you get to stuff like 36 and 6, that breaks down into prime numbers like 2 and 3. So let me show you what I mean. So if you have 36 and 6, let's say you're trying to break it down into the same number. This breaks down into 6 and 6, this breaks down into 2 and 3, this breaks down into 2 and 3. This doesn't actually work because 2 and 3, we can't write it like 2 to the second, 3 to the second power. We can't do that. I mean, I guess you could, but it makes everything a lot more complicated.